People just like you are making tens of thousands of dollars every single month online day trading, and the problem for the majority of people is they don't know how or where to get started. So in this video, I'm going to go over the 7 most important steps for you to start making money with day trading. And I promise you this one thing, that by the end of this video, you will know the exact steps that you need to take as someone who has never traded before in their life to become someone who can consistently make tens of thousands of dollars every single month just by day trading. And yes, I know that this is an outrageous claim to make, but I want to destroy the misconceptions that this is only for people who are in suits and they've got millions of dollars in their pocket ready to go, and that the average person can actually get involved in this, because it isn't actually impossible. And with the right information and mindset, it is something that's possible. But I don't want you to just take my word for it. What you're about to watch is exactly what we teach inside my program at MCF, and we're able to get results like this for our clients because the strategy that we use works. I've been trading myself for a very, very long time, so here is what my students have to say about their trading journey and also what they've been able to accomplish. Make sure to listen, because this can be you on your own accord. You don't have to have somebody teach you, although it does make it a lot easier, because if the wheel isn't broken, why make a new one? Let's check out what they have to say.
The one-on-one sessions and integration of AI, is this something you don't really see within other programs? I can definitely say I've learned a huge amount over the last month.
45 days later, I'm now making a couple $100s per day.
Like 50 days ago, I'm already making $300 per day.
$800 to $1,200 each day, and then I hit the 3,000, and I was pretty excited. I was like, wow, I'm ready to get
last
started.
few weeks I've been at 70% winners.
Thanks to MCF, Maximus was a great instructor.
I praise to MCF.
The MCF team.
MCF team, right?
MCF is the way to go.
With that being said, let's not waste any more time. Let's jump into the video. Now, this first step is not something you're going to expect. It's something that not a lot of people talk about, but it is essential to your trading career. Every single successful day trader, including myself, has done this first step, and it's having an alternate income when you start trading. The reason why is because you need a reliable income, whether it's your 9 to 5, or in my case, another business that you have running on the side, and you want to incorporate trading as a supplemental income, as a part-time thing at the start that leads into something that can be full-time. You see, trading is a long-term game. If anybody's told you in the past that you're going to be making thousands of dollars right away, they're lying to you. It's not a get-rich-quick scheme. The skills, knowledge, and discipline that is essential to becoming a successful trader, not even a profitable one to start with, is something that you're going to have to learn along the way. It takes time to acquire this new skill set. This will be done through hundreds and hundreds of hours of practice on demo accounts, analyzing your charts, and ultimately focusing on the very meticulous and fine details of what could you have done better and what did you do good and how can you improve it. But in the end, when you do acquire these skills, you will turn into a money printing machine. And if you stick through it for long enough with enough dedication, you actually try your 110% best, those results will start to compound. And I can promise you that. You see, day trading is a business. It's also very similar to one, except the difference is that the emotions and the psychology involved and the mindset and your personal character gets tested 10 times more, and the results are directly reflected almost immediately from your own decision making on your finances. Since day trading is a business, it does require capital to start, and no, it does not require tens of thousands of dollars. It would require you to have at least a few $100 or a few $1,000s to your name to go ahead and get started with it. This is enough money to completely change your life. Maybe not in the financial way where you're going to be able to flip this into hundreds of thousands of dollars immediately, because it's a long process of growing your portfolio, right? However, it will help you to develop your character and also challenge yourself, because your emotions and your psychology are going to be tested. You will learn more about yourself, and you can become a more effective individual while actually trading. And with the right systems in place and the right mindset, this is something that you yourself can attack and grow for. And I know this because when I started, I was 16 years old and I only had a few $1,000s to my name, but I attacked it and I went offensive with my starting capital. As you all know, money is a very powerful tool. People trade their lives for it, and they also spend their lives working for it. I can personally guarantee you that the majority of people watching this video are not going to be gifted large sums of money to start trading. And the money that they do have, they care a lot about, because it's your hard work and hours of labor, physical labor, that went into acquiring that capital. Now, it's important to simply keep this in mind. The starting capital that you're working with, you worked very hard to acquire and long to get it. This is important because in trading, there are 0 shortcuts. If you skip any of these steps, you will simply just lose your money. This means means that when you start trading, your emotions are going to get tested. Not every trade is going to go your way. That's why it's so critical to have another source of income when you're actually starting to trade, so that your emotions don't get the best of you. If you're starving for it, you're not going to be able to focus and actually learn the lessons involved in acquiring the skill set to do this effectively. This also leads into step 2, which is starting your trading journey on a demo account. You see, there are two types of people: the people who rush into trading, use their own money, and lose it all. They end up sitting there and blame the markets and even the business model, calling it a scam because they did not take time to actually learn the skills and discipline needed to become successful. Then there's the second person who started their trading journey testing different strategies and learning from their mistakes, overall improving as a trader. And because they decided to start on a demo account, it didn't affect their finances. If they lost, they learned, and if they gained, they profited. They analyzed why they learned even more, leaving them with endless opportunities to refine their trading skills and overall become a lot more confident and lethal on the charts, which will help them when it comes to trading with their own capital. I sure know which one I'd pick. The purpose of trading is to make money, not lose it. So trading with the demo account prevents you from losing money when you don't have to. It's something that's new to you and you're going to lose money at the start. So why mess up with your own cash when you can simply just do it on a demo account? You're never going to be a pro at something immediately. No one ever was and no one ever will be. It's going to take some time. It's hard to accept for whatever reason, but you're not gonna start out winning, which is exactly why we work off of a demo account. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you, there is an opportunity cost that comes with trading, especially when you're starting out. You will 100% lose money, which is exactly why we start on a demo account, so that it does not affect us and we can take it as a learning opportunity if we treat that demo account like it's actually our money. On that demo account, you want to be finding different strategies that you can test. You want to do this over and over again until you find the right strategy or the right combination of tools that allow you to consistently make money on a large enough time span. Now, you might be asking yourself, well, how do I find profitable strategies? And remember when I said that there are 0 shortcuts in trading? Let me explain. This is exactly why you're going to have to test different strategies, record all of the results, and keep testing till you find a strategy that is consistently able to make you money over 50 to 100 trades. And then, and only then, will you know that the strategy you're testing is something that you should take to the real markets, once you know that it's reliable on the demo account. Now, one of the most important parts of trading on a demo account is trading with money that you actually have, that's realistic. There is 0 reasons why you should be testing and trading new strategies on a demo account with money that you don't actually have. For example, if you want to trade $1,000 as a beginner, do not open up a demo account with $1 million in it. The results you get and the money you make is completely dependent on the size of your account. So start with something that actually makes sense, because the way the market moves and the way that you see the outcome of your trades is going to be entirely different based on the capital you're starting with. So let's say you find a really good strategy and you're being an idiot and you're trading with $1 million on a demo account when you only have $4,000 to your name. You're going to be trading that strategy. It's going to be making you money, but that strategy is only meant for the larger account sizes. So when you take that confidence and translate that over to actually trading with your own capital, you're just going to lose it because the numbers don't translate. The percentages do, which is why we'll get into that later on. But now that you're trading with real money, you can't just become lazy. You have to work as hard as possible, harder than you've ever worked before. Every single trade that you take, whether it's on a demo or on an actual live account, needs to be tracked in a trading tracking log. Now, it's important to have one of these because it's critical to actually becoming a successful trader, because how are you going to know you're successful if you're not consistently tracking your results? Having a trading log is a clear and concise way of displaying the information that's necessary and vital to you actually tracking your performance. Having everything clearly displayed, such as your statistics, your averages, and also, even if you want to get a little bit more in depth, the screenshots to all the trades you have ever taken, is critical to seeing how your performance has been over a long period of time. As you can see here, this is an example of my client's tracking log, and you can see how everything is clearly and nicely displayed, and it's very simple. It's incredibly important for you to do this step, even though it can seem a bit tedious. Remember, this is something that you want to get into and be successful at. It's not going to be easy. There are zero shortcuts. So if you do this over a long enough period of time, you're going to be able to see if you are able to be consistently profitable with the strategy you're using. If you don't use this, you're not able to see those statistics, and I guarantee you're not going to remember everything about what you've done so far. Another reason why I track my own trades is because I like to relive the moment. I have a picture and links to my charts on there that I can easily access and open up and analyze what went wrong step by step and work to fix that. Now, if you don't want to go through the process of either paying somebody to make you a tracking sheet or building one yourself, don't worry, I've got you. I will link the exact trading log I've been using to track all my trades in the description below. It's only going to cost you $5 to add. I'm joking. It's completely free. Obviously, it's in the description below. So make sure you go and make a copy of it to your Google Sheets or Excel so you can start using it immediately. And it's absolutely free. Once again, just clearing that up. Not only do you want to track all of our trades, but we also want to go ahead and back test. It's super important to do this because, as we all know, we're human. We can't predict the future, which is exactly why we need to back test our strategies. In order for us traders to get the best results, we have to do our very best to predict what the market is going to do so that we can use the strategy we have curated, execute our trades at the correct time, and take profit. Now, backtesting is essentially peering into the past. It allows you to see how your strategies performed in the past so that we can reliably see what it might do in the future. The end goal when actually executing trades is to make it a very habitual routine that you get into, so it's a very calm, cool, and collected process when you're actually trading. You'll become so good at seeing these setups that you'll just take action, and it'll simply just become second nature. If you backtest your strategy enough, this will allow you to really get a good look at it and see if it's actually something that is super reliable, and that will reinforce your confidence when actually using it. Identifying your strategy's strong points is going to give you the confidence you need to spot the specific setups that you want to be keeping an eye out for. You also get the rare opportunity, which you should seize every single time, to go back through your trades, track them, and take notes on what you need to improve upon, which is absolutely great. Now, noting both of these down and really doing this for a long and consistent period of time is going to allow you to take a step back as a trader and look at what you have in front of you and see what the specifics are that you need to improve upon, because maybe your strategy isn't the only thing holding you back. Maybe it's yourself, and we'll get more into that in a second here. It may be you or your strategy that isn't operating at its full potential, so just make sure and do as best as possible to make sure that you're not getting in the way of your own trading strategy, because those are going to affect the results. You have the option to do this on a demo before you enter the market with your own money and deal with your real raw emotions. So it's best that you treat that demo account like it is your real capital. Get all of that out of the way, your emotions, anything that could get in front of you, before you move on to the actual market and begin trading. And after, when you start trading, it's critical to work on improving your strategy and also how you interact with that strategy and the market to make sure that you're operating in as best potential as possible. For me personally, I went down the route of even custom coding some of the tools that I use personally to make my strategy that much more effective and also a lot more fast. So that way I can hop onto the markets, and if I see an opportunity, I'm able to attack it almost immediately with the tools that I've created for myself and also that I give away for free for my community. But we need to keep in mind that when trading at a demo and learning the strategy, that's just half the game when it comes to trading. Now you need to learn to master your own emotions. Your emotions are going to make you be irrational, and they'll try to get in front of you, ultimately contributing to your financial ruin if you let that happen. You will start to just impulsively break your own rules that you set for yourself, and also not follow the strategy that you spent so long proving actually works for you on that demo account just because your money's fluctuating a little bit, as if it didn't do that on the demo prior. Now, this irrational behavior can be confronted on a demo, but for the majority of traders that hop right into it with their own capital, it's very hard to see the money you worked so hard for being messed around with. Next to no one watching this video has been gifted, a large sum of money to testing with trading, you would essentially just be throwing it away. All of you have worked very hard for that money, and it's very difficult to see that money that you labored so hard for physically just get thrown away in a matter of minutes. This mindset is exactly why the majority of people fail. What you actually need to understand is, even though you're facing some losses, you have done the due diligence and also the hard work and preparation on the demo account, testing the strategy. So when the things don't go your way immediately, you still have to follow through and pursue that and take notes on what didn't go right for you. You need to keep in mind that there is no trader on earth that has a 100% win rate. That is insane. No hedge fund, no individual has ever even come close to near perfection. So it is okay when you lose a few trades, and you gotta internalize that and just understand it is okay. Learn to control your emotions, and instead of getting frustrated, take a step back from the chart and really look at it. Maybe go do something else for a little bit. But in the end of the day, don't get frustrated and shut your laptop screen. Or turn off your PC right away. Like a lot of people do. You can't be hot-headed. You have to keep a cool and level-headed mind when actually going through your trade, so that way you can clearly see what you did wrong and improve it. It's a system and a cycle. It just goes around and around, improving, finding what's wrong, improving it again, and doing it over and over until you have near perfection. The absolute worst thing you can do is lose your head, break your trading strategy, and just lose a bunch of money for absolutely no reason. Because then when you go back to look at the strategy that you've set up for yourself, you don't actually follow any of the rules that you went through and parameters, which means that there's nothing you can even work to improve upon because you didn't set the rules that you set for yourself in the beginning when you started trading. So by breaking those parameters, you're actually not letting yourself improve whatsoever, which is why keeping a cool mind is super, super important. And like I said, people, this is exactly why we test our strategies on a demo. You get to see on a large time frame if your strategy works, and once you move over to the real markets on a large enough time frame, that working just translates to you profiting. Another reason why mastering your emotions is so vital to trading is because if you do not, it will lead to overtrading. I see thousands of traders online, and I'm sure you have too. They spend all day revenge trading, trying to make back the money that they lost yesterday or during the day today, and that is completely fueled by emotions and irrational behavior. I'm telling you right now that if you think this way, you will not get your money back. Overtrading and revenge trading simply lead to more losses, and I'll explain to you why. Because of people's emotions, they start to look for any opportunity in the market to win their money back, and the reason why I say win is because at this point they're gambling. And you know, they might even end up profiting some, but in the end of the day, they have completely broken the rules and also their strategy and have set themselves up for failure because they are no longer sticking to the plan. You should only ever enter a trade if one, it makes sense, and two, if it sticks to every single checkbox on your checklist for your trading strategy that you have set up for yourself. Even the best traders in the world don't trade every day. You need to keep this in mind. Don't just enter a setup for the hell of it. You need to enter a setup that makes sense with your trading plan so that you can execute it properly and see if it actually goes well and if there's anything you can improve upon. There might be days where you see no setup that fits your strategy, and that's absolutely okay. It's bound to happen. Just don't force it. You should never risk your capital just because you want to trade every single day. There's no point in that. You're just going to lose it. Remember, this is a slow process, and you're expanding your knowledge and also your emotional intelligence when going through it. This is super critical because it actually helps you to develop the discipline that is necessary and required for trading. Now, it is going to be hard, and you are going to break some rules. Even I do here and there. You will at times want to revenge trade, but the most important thing is that you learn from your mistakes and you really take the time to actually go through and develop a reasoning as to why you will not make that mistake again and prep for that in your strategy. Only once you have truly mastered those 6 steps we just talked about can you then and only then start to slowly increase your margins. Now, this is when you're going to start making thousands of dollars, but as I mentioned before, you can't cheat yourself. If you decide to ignore even one of the things that I've said, it will result in you just losing. I've simplified it down to these few steps. That's why it's so critical that you follow them. Now, if you do start breaking your own rules, you will get lucky and you will see some wins, but for the foreseeable future and over a long enough span of time, that's going to have a very negative impact on your trading and all the work that you've done to get to that point. One of the biggest things I always encourage my clients to do is to start with $1 once you've moved over to that live account and slowly increase from $1 to $5 to $20 to $50. So that way your statistics that you've been tracking and all those percentages for how great you've been doing with your averages and your win rate, those will translate over, but it's just becoming comfortable with actually using your own capital and deploying that offensively so that you can start building up your portfolio. And once you slowly scale that, you become more confident over time. Those larger positions are going to become something casually that you trade. Now, the final step I want to mention is just to continue to learn and adapt. Becoming comfortable and okay with your performance, and worst of all, developing an ego, are the big pitfalls that a lot of traders deal with. And it's just a great thing to keep in the back of your mind to make sure that you don't develop one. And they develop that ego because they simply just get overconfident and tend to lose focus. And always remember this, no matter how much you know, you can always learn more. And even if your strategy is performing amazing, that might not last forever. You can lose all your progress 10 times quicker than it took you to get it. The people that work the hardest win, and if you start to slack off, you're gonna be the one that loses. When you're trading, your money is translating from the person who was better than you, that had the better position. So that should always be burning in the back of your mind and be a need and a necessary thing that you pay attention to and you question yourself on, and that question is resolved through your process if it is sound enough. Just when you think you don't need to be tracking your trades or making sure that everything's good on your checklist is the exact moment you need to double down and buckle down on your trading strategy and do it the absolute best. We all know in trading, when someone else is making money, the other person's losing money. To make sure you always are that person that's gaining that profit, you have to make sure that your strategies and your systems are always up to date. That's why it's so important to constantly review your trades that you take, because if your system and the process you're taking to take those trades is the same and the market conditions are changing, that's going to affect the output. So that's why you always need to reanalyze the actual trade and look at the market conditions to see if there's anything you can improve. Now, you always want to be constantly testing new strategies to see if there's different parts of them that you can rip apart and plug into your own. That way you can use your strategy on all markets. That's critical. I'm sure you guys have seen the common thing on YouTube, such as a Bitcoin trading strategy or an S&P trading strategy. And I really like to challenge that idea, because if you have something that truly is successful and works on anything, then it should be adaptable to all markets. If it doesn't work on a Forex market, but it works very well with crypto or even for commodities like, markets close or crypto's 24/7, there are things in that strategy that you can improve upon to make it flexible and effective on all these different markets, and that will make your strategy overall more resilient. So that way you can double down on the fact of you're confident with it and you know that it works on multiple different markets. Over the years of my trading journey, I've managed to do this with my own trading strategy to the point where now I'm having a dev team build custom tools for me to make it that much better. Even if it's 1% better, I know that I'll be able to continue to make the hundreds of thousands of dollars that I've been able to generate from this and hold my 85% win rate with trading. Now, I don't trade all the time. I take a few trades a month and I go through seasons where I'll often even trade very aggressively and I'll be very offensive with my money. But majority of the time, I like to be defensive with my money and make sure that I'm able to hold that capital that I've been able to build up, and at times when it's necessary, deploy it so I can offensively grow my portfolio. I can personally say that the reason why my win rate is so high is because I've taken these steps to heart, which is why I've been able to simplify them so well. And the other reason I've even decided to make this video is because I've spent thousands of hours on Zoom calls with my clients, working through their initial startup stages, from guys that have had zero experience to guys that have had 15 years of experience as a break-even trader. And I've walked them through the steps to become successful and have high win rates themselves and even generate $8,000 to $12,000 a month. That's the only reason why I've made that statement at the beginning of the video, and the only reason you're actually watching this. Every day I try to get better and make sure that the trading that I'm doing is such a second nature thing that I don't really have to get overly emotional about it, because it's checking off my checklist so I can be calm, cool, and collected. I don't even really have to think about it at this point. I kind of just see the setups, I follow my rules, I make sure that everything's in play, and then I execute. What I like to do is I separate my attacking strategy, which is obviously entering for the position, from my exiting strategy, which is entirely different. So my mindset shifts from entering to then exiting, where I'm now defending my position from any of the current market conditions that are developing. If you master these 7 steps, take it seriously, and really dedicate yourself to it, I can guarantee and promise you that you are going to become a successful trader in some regard, whether it be win rate, whether you're making tens of thousands of dollars a month, or you manage to take this to millions of dollars a month. I hope to hear back from you. One of the most important parts of trading is having a community of like-minded people around you that can point out what you're messing out on. You can see into their own daily rituals and setups and how they're working to become successful, and apply some of those tips and tricks to yourself from other traders. You don't have to take it from just me. So if you're looking for a community of like-minded individuals, I have one. It's completely free, and there's 50,000 people in there just like you, wanting to get started, jump into the markets, and do the best that they can to chase that dream that they all want and vision for themselves. The link will be in the description of the video below here. Inside the free Discord, I've also put together some free lessons on stop losses and levels that are super crucial to any trading strategy, and the reason why I chose those 2 topics is because they can be applied to anything. You can implement it into what you're already doing. You don't need to scrap what you have to then apply it. Thank you guys for watching all the way through. It means a lot to me. My team puts a lot of effort and time into these videos. That's also why I want to make sure I answer each and every one of your guys' questions. So if you have any questions, go ahead and leave them below, and I'll make sure to reply to each and every one of them. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Cheers. Perfect. Fantastico.